All right, so that's the project that we wrapped up not too long ago. We're gonna move down the road because the trail goes that way, but we're gonna walk down this way to the next phase of this project. All right, so this is where the trail currently dumps out. Now that we've built more of the trail, I want it to go all the way down to the bottom. I think we can get like another 200 feet of trail. So I've already come out here and marked where I want this trail to go. I actually was planning on having the trail do a little bit of an S and go to the right hand side of this hemlock. However, I think we can get a nice gradual turn on the outside of this hemlock because I was poking around and I noticed that hemlock is dead. I want to try to preserve that one, so I'm going to try to stay away from the root system for that guy. However, we can come straight through here. And this section is going to be a challenge. And once you get down into this section, beneath all of this stuff is all of these rocks, and you got a bunch of roots pretty close to the surface, but this whole section is just really bony. The plan is to come through here. You can see the pink flag at the end, so I'm just going to go ahead and try to clear out a corridor. This project is probably going to span a little bit longer than normal because I have a few races that I'm doing. I'm going to be quite busy for the next few weeks, so I'm going to try to work on this project when I have time, but I don't know how much free time I'll have. Cool. I went where I wanted it to go. Here's my plan for right now. I'm actually going to do this part probably last, a slow turn, and then jump in here. So that will give us kind of a good feel for how this trail will go. And by removing all of the debris, you can see we got some roots exposed up here. That part's not too bad, but a lot of times when you see roots exposed like this, that means they can't go into the ground. So in this case, you can see there's this like rock right here. So we can kind of read the landscape a little bit. Again, the roots are like traversing, so that might mean that there's a lot of rock here and the roots can't go down, so there's not much dirt. Over where these ferns are, it gets even trickier because these rocks stick out quite a bit. And a bunch of roots mixed in with the rocks. So it's not like you can just rip out the rocks. The rocks are kind of like cemented because of these roots, and I don't want to necessarily hurt the trees. So we'll circle back whenever we have some more time and pick this project up. All right, so I'm about to sharpen my chainsaw. Like in the past, I've used like one of these to sharpen my chainsaw really quickly, or I'll take the chain off and I'll throw it on the electric one I have. However, This thing I saw recommended on like every chainsaw YouTube channel I came across. This thing. This has a file for the cutting edge, but also has a file for the raker, so it's doing both tasks at once. So my dirt options are very limited. That hole, all rock, pure rock. All that stuff came from there. I can't find anything else. I kept scraping rock everywhere. Too many big roots, can't find anything here. That's all rock. So I had to take this guy on a little bit of an adventure, come out over here, and now I'm trying to scrape dirt from. It's been about like 2 weeks since I've done any kind of trail work out here. If you have been paying attention to my main channel, I was doing those EWS races, and you might remember I hurt my wrist, so this is a perfect time to trail build. I think my wrist is okay. It's hard to tell. I got x-rays. Doesn't seem like it's completely broken or anything, so I'm just trying to use it like it's sprained. Just be gentle on it. So I think excavating should be like the perfect thing to do for me. Anyways, I want to get back to this project and finish it up. So we've gotten the trail to like right here. Well, when I say trail, we've gotten access point. I can take the excavator up and over this, that's fine, but it's not really like a trail. It's just kind of more of a road than anything. So this terrain is just really hard to work with. So rocky, so rooty. I think the goal is to get this trail and should I get over there? So undecided. Either way, I want to get the trail out to kind of where the gator is over there. I knew this was going to be frustrating, but this has turned out even more frustrating than I was expecting. There's just like, anytime I try to go find any kind of dirt, I just find rock. When I try to pull on anything, I just slide, it pulls me off. Like, I just need to take a break because we're making progress, but it's so frustrating. So that dirt over there is super wet. It might be too dark to tell, but this dirt right here, it's a mixture of that like gray clay stuff, but it's also got a lot of organic material mixed in with it. So this is going to take a long time to dry, and what's going to happen is as rain comes through, it's going to wash off that black layer, and eventually it's going to leave behind that like gritty clay, and it'll pack in really nicely. But for a little while, it's going to be super soft. I've done this before in other parts of our trail system, and it works. You just need a few rainstorms to wash away some of that organic material, and the stuff turns into some really good dirt. All right, I've had a really hard time getting myself out here to do any more trail work. I don't know, I go through these phases where I'm like super motivated to do trail work, and then my interest will completely shift. And so since I started this project, I ended up doing the EWS races, and then my attention got kind of diverted towards editing videos, and I've just been having a hard time getting myself out here to finish this building project. But I wanted to do a few updates. First of all, this dirt has set in really good, and we've gotten a ton of rain since I initially laid this dirt on the ground. So this is gonna work just fine. I wanna come back over here and make this look like a trail, which it does not look like right now. So I don't have a plan. I think I'm just gonna try to smooth this out a bit. This I'm happy with. That, I need to find some more dirt. Ooh, if I get rid of that birch, I might be able to find some dirt right there. This is so frustrating. There's like, I really wanted to use this like big rock as something, and I don't know, I put it in there. I don't know if I love it, but like all these rocks are just pissing me off. I went inside, had some food, and sometimes food really changes your opinion and puts you in a better mood. I'm actually way more satisfied. That's the word I was looking for. Way more satisfied with how this looks. Don't really want to dig down too much, but I did mention that tree is dead, so if I wanted to, I could pull some dirt from there, but I think I'm just gonna fiddle around, see if I can get a little bit more material for right here, because I'd like to like have some kind of a roller. Alright, still looks really messy, but there's a lot more character to this trail now, so I'm pretty happy with how it is. For now, I just kind of got a little bit more undulation going, and I think that's what I was missing before. Alright, so right now, what I really want to do is, we've got the general shape of the trail. I want to make use of some of these flat rocks, and I want to kind of put them in here and see if I can kind of rock armor this whole section. And that will give this section some character. It's kind of nice to like, you get the general shape of the terrain and then come back through and do some rock work. So. Alright, I figured it's probably a good time to talk about what I'm trying to do here, or what I'm doing. So, obviously, I'm trying to fill in the gaps of these big rocks with smaller rocks. So, you kind of use the big rocks, you set them in place, and then you use kind of the spacing to see if you can find a rock that kind of fits that spot. So I was able to find this rock right here, which fits in this general area really well. But then I need to level it. So, the way you can kind of set the height is by using a bunch of the small rocks I set aside. And then I use the dirt basically as mortar. And I kind of throw the dirt in there, it'll fill in some of the gaps, and kind of keep finagling it till you have something that looks all right. So it's not rocket science, it's rock science. Just kind of put some dirt there. It's not perfect, but now I need to fill in this gap. So here, this is probably not going to be the ideal line because we have this big hump right here. So I could chisel this down. The rock that's here, it's pretty brittle, so you can actually get away with chipping it. Now, different rocks are different, so if you try to do this by you might have better luck or worse luck. Really depends on your geology. So I'm gonna see if I can find a rock that fills this gap pretty good and see if I can get it close to this height. And then I'll come through and I'll try to chisel out this edge and make this nice and flat. There you go. This guy looks pretty good. So there's a bit of a curve this way, and this guy's kind of got a bit of a half moon shape. So let's try placing it in like this. Let's try the opposite, see if that works better. Upside down. Ooh. Kind of like that. This guy could work. It definitely could work. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with this guy. It does a pretty good job filling in the gap. Then some of these like long skinny rocks, I'll actually drive in vertically. Essentially what that does, it acts as like a pylon going into the ground, and you know, if you just put a flat rock on top of soft surface, it's always gonna rock. So, pun not intended. There we go. I'm pretty happy with that. Fill in the grooves. Alright, for our purpose, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and chisel this. The outer surface of the rock will be more weathered, so it'll chip a lot easier than once you start getting down to kind of like the core. Like this area, this was a lot more dense, so it wasn't coming off as easily. So I'm gonna leave it as that. Maybe I'll come back later, but kind of taking off the big edge of it. Okay, I need to fill in that gap and then come back and set some of those rocks a little bit better. Hey.
Are you stuck? You can get out. Come on. Right? You came in right here. Look, you came in right here.
Come. To give you some perspective as to why I rock armored and elevated this section, you can see how high the water level is right there. So if we were to just kind of try to make a trail through here, it wouldn't have worked. So that's why I really needed to rock armor this and elevate it.
You didn't even, you looked at it. Keep going. Keep going. Super slow-mo.